Hey, so we're back for the Metroidvania game jam that started the other day. So I've had a bit of a think, and I'm probably going to get rid of this tile set. I'm just going to go with developer graphics. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an object, uh, which will be the other block, which is what I normally do when I'm doing it in the background, and then I tile over it. We'll go with that approach. Now, I was having a think of the games that I've played that have the go in between different levels, and I put this together quickly on uh, what's it called Google Sheets. So we'll do a 4x4 map. We'll do all the rooms the same size. We'll be able to divide them up like there's ones here which have multiple entrance and exit points. So if you went into this room, you'd have a little bit up here which is off there, and that's how you separate it into more rooms. And I got the idea from a Shantae game, which when I played that, it made me think that all the rooms basically the same shape. There was the odd room that was a bit bigger, but it was very rare, and they used the connecting rooms. I assume the double as like loading screens for areas. So if we just go like the standard room size, we'll be able to put up some levels. I'm still thinking to do it in one map, and then what I'll do is I'll use a tracking object which will basically remove and uh, deactivate and reactivate assets uh, and the objects as and when needed. So how I've got it here is go to start. I've set so you can't go that way, but that'll be ultimately where you go. Now, obviously, if you were going to play the game jam, this is pretty much a walkthrough of the entire game, so try and not memorize it. So you go out here first, and now you're going to be set with your first choices. So you can go that way, or you'll be able to go that way. There'll be things maybe like blocking you from going that way at the moment. There might be something there that you can get later on in the game from having your ability. And as you see, you come back up here. So you'd follow this down to here, you get that power. So we were saying the first power probably be double jump. So now we're able to get up here, we're able to get up here, um, drop down here, do this bit, double jump here. And now what we've got here is we've got optional rooms. So you can go do them. But what happens is because you've unlocked that, when you go back, I'm going to get the platform in elements of this to slightly change. So you need to start using your new power, which will be the dash. So navigate your way up here, get your third power to be missiles. You use it in this room for some capacity. It might be hitting some unreachable switch. It might not be missiles. It might be just some projectile. It could be a ball of energy. And then when you get back up here, we'll start guiding towards this. So this will probably be one of the toughest rooms. Uh, Maybe it'll just be really hard platforming room, and then we'll drop down here, and this will be the final encounter. I haven't quite decided how this is going to end. If it's going to be some sort of combat minigame, if it's just going to be a really hard maze which leads to an exit and then you're out, or if it just ends the story there. So that will be something I figure out later on. So first, what we'll do is we'll jump back to Game Maker. So I've already gone ahead and worked out the size of the room because I wanted to keep it in one room. So you know the width is 1366. That's what it sets default. So if we times that by 4, it'll be 5464, which is a pretty big map. And if we had loads of moving parts running all the time, it might lead to a bit of a slowdown. So we're going to do some loading in with bits that might be moving about. So the height times that by 4 would be 3272. Uh, we'll just delete this layer for time being. We'll get rid of that. Yep, sound. Um, we'll go with same colours for the outline for the blocks. We'll go with white. So we'll create a sprite in here. We'll call it S block. Nice simple 64 by 64. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that's going to take ages to lay them out, especially when if we go back to the room, each one of these squares is, well, it should be 64 by 64, and I believe it is. Yes. So because of that, what we're going to do is we'll say we can keep coming out. It's quite a big map that's going to be the entire game minus menu. So what you can do is, oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong, I'm not on the right layer. So we'll just put them on this one for the time being. We'll move that progress one. So what we'll do is we'll keep a gap there, so it'll allow we transitioning. Um, I haven't really worked out the, oh, wrong one. More centre. Let's have a look. What does it look like? Oh, all right. So slightly smaller. So if we knock that off, just keep moving them down to knock one off. That should. I didn't resize this one, so this room's slightly bigger. Oh well. So we'll have a slight larger gap at that side, which is fine in the scheme of things. So now we've got that. What we'll do is we'll create another block. This is just for the outline of things. Um, I'll copy and paste that. Select these, and paste. And these are going to be too high. Right, so that's not ideal. I've made them a bit too big. We could just make the map a bit bigger, to be honest. But it's to fit the size of the screen because we can use the viewpoint there to scale it to match. So let's have a quick think. How much are we? If we go like that, how much are we? About half. Okay. So maybe if we move, well, two. So if you hold shift, you'll be able to move that up. It's still a little, well, actually. Oh, because we're moving it up, we can get some extra, we can get some extra space there. So we'll move this up one more. A lot of this game stuff, if you don't plan it out, is a lot of trial and error. But if it was going to be easy, it probably wouldn't be fun. That's what I say. Oh, so we're right on the. Well, I suppose that's not too bad. In fact, that's spot on. So what we'll do is we'll resize these. Right, we'll get rid of those. We'll get all those together. Copy, paste, copy, paste, and one more time. Copy, paste. Now I've essentially got the containers for all my rooms. So if we're going to start in a room, inside here we'll have little bits, so we'll have scenery and ledges and bits like that, so they won't all just be equal, nice square things. There might be bits in the middle that you're going to jump over. They're very common in these games. Gaps you've got to jump because there's something dangerous there. Spikes above you, so those sort of things. So what I need to do is let me load up another computer just to see where we're going. So because we're customizing this to have all the interconnected rooms, what we'll have to do is, so it now starts to take a bit more into the detail. So we make all these rooms. Around. Look at the same again with this one. Oh, in fact, why am I doing? Why am I doing that? Because we've got that there. I shouldn't have deleted that. Now we've basically got two rooms connected to each other. What I'm going to use these for is, because I'm doing it all on one screen, instead of using the camera follow function, which is in the viewpoint where you can get to follow the object. I mean, that's great for like side scrolling games where you just go in either in one direction or you're going back and forth. But going between rooms, you probably want to not discover the room until you're there. So what we'll do is we'll basically have the camera set to see that room, and then when you cross here, it'll switch the camera coordinates, which will move it along. So it's like a false loading screen. Otherwise, we're creating loads of rooms. And I think it's just easier from a point of looking on the map. I said it might cause some loading issues if I don't manage that properly, but I don't think it should be too bad. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll do this one now. There we go. So yeah, I've seen in a few games where sometimes it can look a bit too repetitive, but when you start playing games and you start analysing them all the time, you start to see a lot of patterns. I mean, it's only the same as someone uh, using trees instead of, or trees are like really high mountains instead of like an invisible wall of you're not going through it. So pull that across. We'll copy that. There's a lot of copy and pasting of this, but and feel free to design your map in the same way using like a Google Sheets or Excel or any of those. I used to get the square pads. I used to do a lot of pixel drawings, and I just used to like write between like 1 and 16 across. I mean, indexes, and I used to make like 16 by 16 sprites. Just to be, obviously, I'm gonna say makes me a weird kid, but I did that as an adult. Uh, yeah, we'll keep that one thinner. Just gives it a bit of variety. I don't want to make it too all the same. If you know what I'm saying. Uh, oh yeah. I mean, maybe there'll be the option as this game goes. Obviously, I don't have not very long to develop the game. There might be ways of like going into like maybe like hidden sections in it, almost like a drainage system with sewers, I guess. Because at times of monsters and that, you didn't have same sewerage, you didn't have the big open sewers. They were probably quite scrawny little areas that only like the smallest people and animals would fit through. You know, like little goblins and that. I don't like that because it's marking that I want to like make it indicative of, there's going to be something down here. But basically, after we've done this and we've got collisions on a player and we've got a player on the screen, you're able just to run around the map. You won't be able to get very far, you won't be able to get back up. But I'm not too bothered about that, to be honest. And as you can see, I'm not exactly rushing. Not like the other day when I'm trying to make a game in 10 minutes and I failed both times. I'll just have to try and think of a game I can make fast enough. I mean, I could make a very simple game, but nothing had come to me. And this is what happens. How I made that jelly slime was off I think it was, can't think of what it was. I'd just been to a festival. I was like, I want to make a game. I'm in a good mood, a bit of a holiday from working all the time. I got accepted to a new job that pays significantly more, and I had opportunity to learn more at that place. So everything was going well. I think I had a month left to go until I moved to another job. Got to my, it, it was getting close to my birthday as well, so I was like, oh, I want to make a game so I can share it with my friends because yeah, I'm clearly a weird adult as well. But I like making them. I mean, they were an absolute blast. Uh, Downloaded it on a tablet, put it on the phone. A couple of people played it. Well, in fact, I think everyone played it there. My friend brought the kids, so they were playing it as well. So that's always what I'm interested in, seeing kids playing it because they're the ones that probably sit there and play a game like that doesn't have any like monetization or you're going to spend these to get more turns or all that stuff. I don't. I'll be honest, I don't like the idea of it. And I don't like the idea of adverts either. So mobile game development's not really for me. I think I'd just have to say. I think I'd just have to say the whatever cheapest price you can set it at something because or keep it free. But I'd only want to put money on there just to cover the cost. So whatever the minimum amount is, it's something like 79p 99 pence or something. I think you get a pound's enjoyment out of it. Right. So as you can see, it's like it's actually shaping up quite well. Right. So how many rooms have we got left to do? Let's connect to that one. Them ones. Yeah, we're most of the way through. And well, that's not been long at all. I know you probably think I'm crazy just talking to myself, but I'm not. I'm talking to anyone who's listening. That's what my grandma used to say. So what I think I might do is I might have a scout around in terms of assets. And get something on there. Get something really nice background, sprites. I mean, it'll take a bunch of time to do, but I think it'll just make it look less basic because I am working on it and I'm going to probably tomorrow night absolutely smash it. So there might be a long video there. I might just do it in shorter bursts. I wouldn't expect anyone to sit through 5 minutes of me rambling on. I left that somewhere. Um, what have we got? Oh yeah, I need to connect it back up to the top though, unless you make everyone go all the way around. But I'm not. I'm not that cruel. Maybe. I was saying about. I was saying about sewers. So I don't think there's enough space really to do it, unless one of the powers isn't missile and it's like sewer keys and it gets you in different areas. So it's not bad. Or an optional item because you will have lives. Well, it'll be like hearts or whatever you call them. You will have health, and you will be able to find things that increase it. You might even get the odd point where you can get it back. But I think this is a. I'll be honest, I think this is a solid attempt. I know I'm blowing my own trumpet, but if it comes out half as well as I'm anticipating, then I'll be happy. It's it's funny really because I was talking about I was not talking about I was talking to a new developer that's just started at our place. I was telling them I like doing this sort of stuff. They were like, yeah, I always wonder with games, but when you sit down and you think about games, you think about scope, you think about something absolutely massive. You're thinking about Breath of the Wild or something like that, or a Final Fantasy which goes on forever, or any of these other games, these big open world games with multiple storylines and all these characters. And I'm like, just make something simple. If it's something like, rock paper scissors, or that's what I did for rock paper scissors, or moving something around the room, or just avoiding something, or collecting something in the fastest time possible. I mean, if you look at the game jam games I've done, very simple ideas, and someone's got to keep them dungeons clean. So there's going to be some goblin doing it. It's not going to be, they're going to be bottom up pecking list. What we'll do is we'll create a fake entrance. So you'll never, maybe you can. Uh, so you'll never be able to get anywhere from this. But look at that now. That's a complete map. So obviously I may have to save your time. So let's get we'll get the player. We'll put a sprite on it with the red guy out. Yeah. So yeah, you put them there. So as you start dropping, this is basically a complete map. But like I said, yeah, I'll get some sprites, maybe timer, try and make it a bit jazzed up. Um, maybe do something with these monsters. I quite like the eye thing. They're very basic, but yeah, I think it's not a bad idea to be honest. So yeah, what I mean is in rooms you might have something like a ledge there, which so you can't jump to, or maybe it'll even be something like that. So you go jump, double jump, donk, donk. Maybe I get rid of that, and we have some sort of door in the way, something that'll stop you from being able to get through. But yeah, like I was saying, like room dividers and that, you might have something up here. I mean, it's one of the earlier rooms, so there's not going to be a lot going on. But it'll be more of a, here's what you could do moment. So if I do put some sort of enemies in there, you might have, or it might just be obstacles. So you've got this entire area. There's no way you can get up to that. It might have an extra life. Might be a challenge. It won't be a new skill, obviously, because you've just got one to get to that. But idea is with in Metroidvanias, as you get new abilities, allows you to backtrack. I mean, if you look at Hollow Knight, look where Hollow Knight starts. You start at the top of this place, and at one point you have to jump all the way down. It takes you a bit to get through a bit of the game before you actually get back to where you need to. Oh, well, not where you need to. Or back to that area, and that area is not the easiest. I mean, especially when if you don't have the ability to see in the dark, it makes it very difficult navigating the cave, which I managed to do somehow. I'm trying to think of another one. Well, I mean, Metroid Prime, you have that entire area where you jump right down to the bottom, and you're basically working your way back up, and then eventually you get back up, do a bit of something, you go back down. I'm pretty sure, like after the last, I don't know if it's that one. I don't know if I'm mixing them up to be honest. But I know there's one where you kill the boss, they set a bomb, and then you've got like 3 minutes or something, maybe five, to get your way back up. So the idea of going back and forth places is quite interesting. I don't know what's called Metroidvania though, because I don't remember Castlevania being anything like that. I mean, it's pretty much all based around um, Metroid games. I don't know if it's because they were the same era. I'll have to look that up and I'll come back to you. So now we've got a basic map. Um, what we'll do is we'll shape this out. So I think I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Gravity. Um, there's I know there were some collisions. So what you use a lot of time for collision was I'm on the wrong thing. Right. So I know a lot of times you use step because steps each game frame. So your game might be running a totally different frame to what your step is, but I think the actual step is the time. So a delta, I guess it is. For for movement, and if you can go places, you usually got two bits to it that you might check for a lot of time if you're doing this. So like if um, so you got so you've got if place empty. I use that a lot in grid-based movement. So if if there's something there, uh, use that. You probably use grid meeting a bit more for platformers. So is place meeting, then you'd have, oh, sorry, it's the coordinations first. So if you just put X, Y, it's just your current X and Y. O, um, block. So so it's basically saying if you move in that, then, whatever. Um, so you put in there, so it might be like, this isn't how I'm going to write it, but vertical, vertical. So you might have like your vertical speed, which will have some sort of gravity, something that's always pushing you down towards the ground. Otherwise, when you're not touching anything, you just keep going along, and it will be a bit like Coyote Time, but it'll be like infinite Coyote Time. Uh, let's have a think. So you'd like set the yeah. So I don't know. I think the common one to use is like V speed, VSP. Don't use the built-in ones if you can. The X and Y, unlike mouse X and Y, are probably the best ones, and some of them are a bit. They have behaviour that you can't control. Um, I'm trying to think. Did it? So that'd just be if you're making it so it's based on your uh, your collision. Oh, cracker! You don't want to say that, do you? Collision mask. There we go. So by default, it'll be automatic. I'm not sure if you can change that in settings. You can do full image, you can do manual, and then under here you've got different shapes. So, like it says with rectangles, the default, and I'll keep using that. It's just easier for overall collisions. But if you want like your player to sing in front of like a piece of ledge, almost like clipping into it, and the sprite, or they've got like they've got how they're stood is like side, not totally side on, but they're stood at an angle. So one of their arms is in front. You might want it so it basically checks with your body. So you you change it to that, and then as you go to the wall, even though you're meeting the sprite, it's the collision mask that you're checking with. So it'll be when it meets that line. But we'll just put that back. We'll just keep this simple just for case this game. So yeah, that's me creating the basic map, giving you a brief explanation. I'll probably have a think about what to do next, and we'll pick it up from there. Please like and subscribe just to follow along with us, and if you can, wish me luck. Bye.